I think I've said this a million times. The most important piece of equipment, if you're recording your voice, is the acoustic treatment. It has the biggest effect on the quality of your voice recording. Let me show you what I mean. Listen to this raw recording.
The microphone used to record the audio you're hearing now is an AKG C214. The microphone used to record the audio you're hearing now is an AKG C214.
You almost don't realize how boxy that sound is of the raw recording until you follow it up with the EQ'd and balanced sound afterwards. But how does it get that way? What causes that boxiness? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm Lenny B, audio engineer. I think a voiceover recording that has a boxy sound is probably one of the biggest reasons why people reach out to me. They want to improve the quality of their voice recording. They want it to sound more natural. And that boxy sound happens a lot. And where does it come from? Why does it even happen? Why is it that if I get a microphone and I record in my room and I've got a home studio and I start recording, why does it sound boxy most of the time? Well, there's a couple reasons that is happening. And the first one is that most voiceover people, I think as a reflex, they try to get in a booth and they try to put themselves in a small space to isolate themselves. And I understand that you want to get it as quiet as possible. It's kind of a reflex. But what happens is when you put yourself in a small space, you are encouraging your microphone to pick up reflection sounds. And my new favorite teaching device is my poster board. Let me show you. I've been using this pretty often. So it's just a regular piece of poster board. So I want to illustrate where that boxiness is coming from. Right now, I'm speaking to my dynamic microphone, my RE20. I'm going to stay a consistent distance from the microphone. I'm not going to change the projection power of my voice. I'm going to keep it fairly consistently when I'm talking. The only thing that is going to change is I'm going to use my poster board to introduce reflections in my voice recording. And I want you to listen to the tone. Listen to the tone of my voice and how it's changed. It's the only thing that I'm going to modify. I'm going to try not to touch anything or hit the microphone or anything to cause other noise. I'm starting to add reflection sounds into this recording. So my voice is it's going right to the microphone, but it's also being reflected off of the board. I could change it up here. I know this is silly. I could change it to be up here, and that changes the tone further. I could change it to be on this side. I could put the board completely behind me, and that offers a different type of reflection into the microphone. It's modifying the tone of my voice. And when I remove it, and I'm staying that same distance and speaking just the same, now you can hear my voice goes back to a more balanced tone. That's what's happening when you put yourself in a small space. If you're in a closet and you're in a 3x3 area to try to isolate that outside noise, I get it. You want to quell the noise from the traffic on the street outside your home studio. You want to make sure that the leaf blower guy or the trash trucks that are driving by don't sneak into your voiceover when you're doing auditioning or you're creating content or you're making your next marketing video. I totally understand. What I want you to understand, though, is you might be it's like medication, right? You might be fixing one problem, isolating yourself, but then there's some side effects. You're causing another issue, which is those reflection sounds. Reflection sounds getting into the microphone, let me put it a different way, allowing your microphone to pick up your direct, pure voice, meaning your mouth, your sound source directly to the microphone, and a reflection sound off of the side of your wall in that small booth, and that's getting into the microphone at the same time, but the reflection is at a slight delay. That messes with the audio. That makes certain frequency spaces in your recording overabundant. Certain frequency spaces are louder, other frequency spaces are lower. It could make your voice sound hollow. It could make your voice sound thin. It could make your voice sound boxy, like a lot of mid-range in a certain frequency. It could make your voice have no bass. It could make your voice be incredibly boomy. It actually all depends on the size of the little booth that you're in. Short reflection sounds are a killer. And that's what's happening in this example. And let me show you how I know that. Let's look at what I have to do to rebalance the audio. And I'm not being critical of the person that sent this to me. I love when people send me audio like this because it's an opportunity for me not only to teach you on YouTube because you're watching my videos. I get to use this as an example, but I also get back to this person and explain what's happening. And hey, here's how we can fix your room to make your home studio better. We have to prevent those short reflections from getting back into the microphone. Look at this. It's very interesting. This is the EQ curve that I had to create to balance out this audio. So I'm going to play it again. You'll see both. You'll see the EQ before and after. I'm going to keep it off and then I'm going to engage the EQ. Listen to the difference and then think about the frequencies here. This is a huge mid dip. I'm removing a lot of frequency power in the mid-range because it's just peaking. It's overabundant because of those short reflections. Let's listen. I'm only going to engage the EQ because I only want you to hear that difference for the moment.
The microphone used to record the audio you're hearing now is an AKG C214. The microphone used to record the audio you're hearing now is an AKG C214.
When I do the EQ work and figure out what needs to be done to balance out the audio to make it sound more natural, and then I look and see like, wow, look at all this EQ work. I've really had to modify and reshape the audio to be flat, to be balanced. That means the original recording, the original audio capture is lopsided. That means those reflections, just like that poster board that I was introducing into this example here, it's really causing havoc on the raw recording. The EQ sounds good. The EQ can fix it. The EQ can make it optimized, but nothing will sound better. No EQ, no restoration, no magic AI plugin is going to make the audio sound better than if it didn't have the imbalance issue in the first place. And what could be a quick fix? Well, getting that microphone and your voice recording, capture it in a space where the walls are way far away from the microphone, so there's no reflections coming in, or in a room that has acoustic treatment to where those reflection sounds are absorbed and not bounced back into the microphone. Removing those reflections is key. So I wanted to first just kind of illustrate and draw your attention to this because is this happening right now in your voice recordings? Is it boxy because of those reflections? Are you spending isolation, right? You're investing in isolation to try to get yourself away from all the noise in the other parts of the building that you're in, just so you can get a silent room, but you're causing other problems because of those reflection sounds, causing your frequencies to be imbalanced, causing you to do a huge amount of EQ work to get that balance. Or this is what usually happens to a lot of my clients. They EQ in circles. They can't get it to sound good because if they EQ one section, the other part sounds messed up. You're like chasing your tail all the time. And that can happen because when you speak, the louder you get, you're projecting more energy into your small little space, which causes more reflections. And so you'll get a different frequency response than if you speak softly and you're not pushing a lot of sound pressure waves into that small space. You get less reflections. That means that the frequencies that are overabundant or dropping out is moving. How are you supposed to EQ something like that? That's why I often call that unstable. It's enough to drive you crazy, especially if you're like, I know how to EQ or I know how to adjust this a little bit. I can't ever get it to sound good. Inconsistent, right? You're recording some regular speech and then you record something projecting louder and it sounds different. It's like, what's going on? It's really, really frustrating, but this is definitely something that I can help you with. If you feel like you don't know, send me your audio and I will review it and send back an example of my custom processing on your voice, recorded on your mic in your small or big room or whatever it is, and we can get to the bottom of this. You could hear what my custom processing sounds like on your voice, just like I've done here with this example, and it's free. I do this for everybody, no matter what level. You're a beginner, you're a pro, send me your audio. Go to my website. It's lennyb.com. Click on the red button at the top of the page and just follow the instructions. Here's the other side of this too. I've got training courses that you might be interested in. If you're interested in learning how to EQ like I've done here, to make these type of modifications. Ideally, you want to do a lot less processing than this. You don't want to put so much pressure on your EQ to have to balance it out. It's better to fix it in the room. In that case, you might be interested in my acoustic treatment course, where I show you how acoustic treatment can help you tame that room, or how mic placement can help you tame those reflection sounds. How do you prevent those reflections from getting in the microphone? And this way you don't have a problem to fix in the beginning, and your processing is much easier downstream. LennyB.com is where you can get information on those courses, or you can submit the audio. Don't be shy. Send me your audio. I'm happy to help you. And it's quite possible we may use your example in my next YouTube video so we can help other people as well. LennyB.com is where you get all the details. Actually, before we go, I want to play you the entire processed sound, where I've added, I think there's a little bit of restoration. I think I've put, let me see what I've got here. I've added on this entire processing, Repair Assistant. We're using a D-click on this as well. We'll engage that. And we're using the Sheps Omnichannel. And the Sheps Omnichannel is where we add an expander to try to make it a little quieter between words. We've got some saturation. We're adding a couple different compressors, some more EQ. And this is really just to give the whole processing sound a more polished feel. Now, is it a solution? Does this fix the problems? No, it actually is just masking. We are just slapping a big Band-Aid, masking the problem. We're putting a big Band-Aid on the issue. Nothing is going to sound better than if we go and fix that imbalance. That's really, really important. And it's one of the most common things that ails poor voice recordings. But you can optimize, and let me play you the before and after. I'll leave you with the difference. We'll first start with the raw audio, and then I will engage the full custom processing so you can hear the difference.
The microphone used to record the audio you're hearing now is an AKG C214. The microphone used to record the audio you're hearing now is an AKG C214. The audio interface used to record this is a Focusrite Scarlett Solo, 4th generation. The audio interface used to record this is a Focusrite Scarlett Solo, 4th generation.
The processing can help, and in a situation like this, maybe you can use the processing to immediately sound better. You can gain that confidence to say, hey, my voice recordings are going to be, instead of being down here, they're going to be up here. And in the meantime, I could start working on saving up for some acoustic treatment to help quell some of those reflection sounds, or I could work on moving my studio into a bigger place or whatever. But you can get the immediate benefits of a custom processing preset now, and then upgrade your space, and then have to do less of that bandaging and that repairing, and so your voice could sound even better. Either way, it's an improvement, and you get yourself on the right path. Again, all the details at lennyb.com. Thanks for watching.